good stuff. This is going to be the good stuff with this full carbon fiber Arrma Limitless build. We're putting in this 20 horsepower motor over here. It's for a customer. Now I've gotten a lot more of the parts in the last couple of days. Finally, we're going to be able to get to the meat and potatoes of this thing. And yeah, I do actually have the camera turned this way, so hopefully you guys can see a little bit wider of, you know, everything. So yeah, this is this, and that is that. You have an XLX right over here. We're gonna have to solder this guy because it's brand spanking new, and you know, he's not soldered yet. We're gonna have to put the servo in. We're gonna have to put the diffs in. We're gonna have to put basically everything in. I just got around to building up the spool over here, and here this is. So pretty much we're still left off where we were last time for the most part. But yeah, so we're just going to commence this build, and we're just going to keep on going forward with it. There's really not much more to do regarding just the chassis. We just have to finish building, you know, like the shocks, the bulkheads, shock towers, all that crap. So I'm going to solder this a little bit later because I'm not up to all the electronics yet, but we will also be doing that today. Yeah, so guess we can commence this build over here. And so we're not going to see this guy for a little bit because we have more stuff to do. Yeah. Okay. Now, where I left off in the previous video, yeah, so we were not able to put these guys on over here, front and rear, A-arm, shock, tower, assembly, like the whole drivetrain over here. So we're going to be getting these guys on that chassis over there. And, you know, we really couldn't do much until that. And regarding the electronic placement, it really depends after the car is built. So that's why you want to start from the outside and work your way in. And if we don't have the front or rear diffs or these things, then you really can't build the drivetrain then. So I did build the spool. Where the hell did it go? Oh, the spool's back there. But we built the spool, but I really can't make sure it's perfect yet because I need to make sure the drive shafts go in, and I might have to adjust whatever. So all right, here we go. Here we go. This is the front. This is, yeah, this is definitely the front here. Just gonna start by putting everything in. What's going on, guys? Let me see if I could even see whoopsie daisies. Okay, so no, I was just checking. There's this silly YouTube learn more thing. It's annoying, but either way. All right. Working on the diff housing now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. As you pick it up, it really makes it seat right. Yo! Can I get rid of this silly, learn more? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Janae Cruz, yo, what's up? What is up? What is up? Ground up build going on here. Rear, okay. We'll need that, but not now. Well, we don't need this. We need this. We need the front one, which is this. Okay. And then, which other ones do we have? Oh, there it is. How's it going, guys? How's it going all? Just making more of our way with this Limitless build over here. Get all the pins. Three-phase innovations, excellent work. Thank you, my good sir. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, thank you. And why doesn't the comment stay on? That's odd. Let's see, what speed are you trying to go with this build? Well, this car is not for me. This is a build for a local buddy of mine, And he's really nice, really cool, and he just wants to pretty much bash and play around. So we're putting this big old motor in right here. What is up? Yeah, so yeah, this is the first time I'm doing the live video with it this way, and obviously it's going to be a lot easier for you guys to see, but yeah, the chat just keeps fading away, so that's kind of odd. Either way, what kind of speed am I looking to hit with this? Well, I'm not going to hit anything with it because it's for a local buddy, but he said he wants it to do at least 110, 120, and with this big old motor and big old gear, that's pretty easy. It's 800 kV, so that gear is actually, it's not as much as you might think it might be, but you know, it's still a lot. But on 6S with that gear, it's going to run fine. Running a 39 spool, and I think that's a 50. It's a good setup. I'm not going to build him something that he's going to blow up. I mean, unless he wants to go stupid fast, and, you know, he's going to have to understand. But, you know, he knows what he's doing. He knows. Let me just get Limitless. Search speaker. Well, the lower kV you have, the higher voltage you can run. Usually the larger motors, like this guy, lower kV usually means generally a higher motor. Higher, oh my god. Larger. Generally speaking, a larger motor. But, you know, so you can gear up like this and actually be all right to bash. Just have to monitor your temperatures nonetheless. You got to be careful regardless. Okay, I think I know what goes here. I think one of these and one of these probably. Let's see. How's it going, guys? How's it going? Oh. Sorry if I don't get to all of your questions. The chat seems to be fading away, which is stupid. I don't know, ever since I turned it horizontal. But let me know if it's better for you guys this way, wider. Hopefully you guys can see more of what I'm doing. Hopefully. Oh, 8S too much for a 5 team. I would say, yeah, you don't need, all 8S is torque. You don't need more power. If you want more speed, just gear up. You know, you don't need to add more voltage. You know, just because you see people running crazy high voltage doesn't necessarily mean it's going to grant you, you know, more longevity or more speed or anything like that. You could run 12S and do 80 miles an hour, or you could do 2S and do 110 miles an hour. You know, you just got to find the sweet spot. Some larger vehicles need higher voltage to get to the same place because they're super heavy. You know, so you need to, they need more torque, more power. Oh, that's not the right one. Where, oh where? I hope I'm not missing another part. Out of all these parts, not this. No. No. Well, I have the part in plastic regardless, so I'll be able to see. How can I see top chat? All right. Vincent Martin's Limitless V2 Max 5 49.90 1650 8S to do 120. What opinion? Well, I know what to do. At least on 8S, you want to run that motor on 8S. Okay. Appears to be good. All right, so we're starting to look pretty good with this. 1, 2. 1, 2, buckle 1 shoe. Okay. All right, let me catch up on comments. Let's see what's going on. I mean, you just need a big old pinion. I would probably go direct drive on 8Fs. If I find this piece that's upgraded after I install it, I'm not going to be happy. Let's see. That's the front, 2, 3. Oh, maybe I didn't order it. Yeah, it doesn't look like I ordered it. No big deal. At least he's got the front one on, which is really what we want. Plastic pieces. Now we have the sway bar things that we got to put on. I might as well do that to both diffs at the same time. 1, 2. Yeah, this is kind of stupid how you have to kind of keep clicking on here just to see all the comments. Wish it could just stay up. I'm sure there's a way that it can stay up. Interesting. I don't know. No, this is a no stress build. This is a no stress, easy, relaxing build. Just wish I had like a big bowl of mac and cheese. That'd be amazing. I could go for some mac and cheese right now. Okay. Now we have the front sway bar assembly on. 1, 2. Okay. How's it going, guys? How's it going? All the new people in the chat. I think we're done with the front. All right, so here. This is the whole front of the Limitless, or damn near a Typhon, really. We just had to get the other parts and then the diff housings and whatnot, but this guy is pretty much ready to go onto the chassis right there, but I'm not going to do it yet because we still have the rear. It's missing something right here. It's missing the whole bulkhead and diff. So that's what we're going to install right now. Literally just split it in half, put it up and over, bada bing, right there. All right. All right, so now we want these other things over here. Okay. Bam, bam, bam. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the build. I'm just checking up on messages here. How's it going? Is that motor from a Lozi DBXL? I don't know. I don't think it is. The one that comes to DBXL it's all black. There's no orange on it, and it's a 780 kV. This is 800, but there's like barely any difference. It's damn near the same thing. Why almost nobody uses hobby wing combos? Are they unreliable or slow? Most people use Castle and GP. Yeah, well, I mean, Hobby Wing is great, but with how much you're spending on it, it's great to go with if you're not looking to spend the extra money if you're going castle and if you have no electronics at all. If you just want, like, I would say average, maybe slightly better than average performance, Hobby Wing is great, they're reliable, and they're good. But if you want to push power, more power you push, reliability goes down. But, you know, that goes with everything. But you can push more power with castle. 100%. XLX2 can easily push a lot more power, or amperage, really, more than anything than what Hobby Wing currently has. Hobby Wing just has a higher voltage ESC currently, 12S, which is great for more power. But you know, if you have the same exact voltage 6S, 8S, Castle's what you want. But if you're running high voltage, they're doing pretty good stuff with the high voltage things. Easy, plug and play, high voltage. That used to be not non-heard of 5-10 years ago. Back to looking for a screw. This thing, there it is. Let me see. You see the chat. This is really silly how I have to keep doing this. Good afternoon. What's up, Ed? How's it going? How are you, Ed? I wish I could just stay up so I could see, but I guess not. Okay, this is the sway bar assembly. Putting the sway bar on while there's no stress on it right now. Easier to install, more natural, the seating. All right, so this is the back. We want this going in right here. And I know you guys can't see this. I'm just talking to myself, basically. I don't think anything has to go in the back. Pretty sure. Yeah, no. All right. Very good. We need a long flat. Alrighty. And time for pins. Build is looking good. Thanks, Ed. Thank you. We finally got the extra parts that I was missing a few days ago in the last live when we were building this guy. But now we have, I'm pretty sure, all the parts. Pretty sure. We have enough parts to pretty much finalize the build, 90 to 95%. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I also got the gear for it too, so, you know, we pretty much have everything. I think there was someone else. What do you rate Spectrum motors? Well, I mean, Spectrum, they have, you know, decent things. If you're spending upwards of $200, you might as well go, you know, Hobby Wing or spend more money on a Castle. You know, it depends on what you like. If you already have a big Spectrum like that inside like a 5th scale, like, you know, you don't need to replace it. Just get a better ESC to make it perform a little bit better. You know, that's all you really need to do. Spectrum is all right. You know, I'm not putting them down. They're good. Are they amazing? That's a different story. You know, they do lack some features that Hobby Wing and both Castle have, which is being expensive. And I think they could put out a little bit more power. They're just higher wattage motors, I believe. In plain old terms, they're just more powerful. There's nothing wrong with them. What is going on, guys? I'm not looking at the chat right now. I'm really just trying to get this done. But doing a full Limitless build, ground up build, and we finally got most of the parts from the previous live that we did not have. So we're making progress now. Making progress, making progress. Oh crap, I should have put the dog bones in. Oops. And we do have these pretty titanium dog bones from Power Hobby. They're very light and very nice. I actually run these in silverback, and they're pretty nice. They are certainly pretty. Just to lighten up the car a little bit, just because the motor is really heavy. The lighter the car, the less stress your transmission will have. So it's always a good thing. Just putting in the dog bones now. Oh, what I'm probably going to want to do is make my little cushions. Yeah. Little cushions for the back dog bones because they like to wobble around, and this dampens it pretty much. It's always good to have a little dampener in there just so that the dog bone doesn't wobble around, that it stays, you know, for the most part in the right place. But if you take any hits, it's always good to, you know, have that catch it on impact. There we go. That's how you put a little bit more love into the car. You know, cars from the factory, they 1000% need a little bit more love in order to perform consistent and nice. You know, they're great out of the box, but over time, you know, you need to give it some love, as I said. And if you know what you're doing, the car will love you back. Most certainly will. Okay. All right, let's check the chat. Chat check. Blah, 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 blah. Is it true that the XLX2s catch fire often? Well, I'll certainly tell you, when in the wrong hands, when you have a big old gear, you run high voltage because you see it on YouTube, and then the ESC catches fire. Well, I mean, the more power you push, the higher of a chance of a failure, i.e. fire or whatever. And if you also have horrible solder joints, people like to blame the ESC. I guarantee a good 80% of those fires, when the XLX2 originally came out, wasn't a hardware issue. I'm pretty sure it's because the ESC was actually pushing enough amperage to start a freaking fire, and it's dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. That's why the guys who go really fast, there's a line that you cross where people don't cross because either the solder joints aren't good or something like that, you know. And the fast guys, well, the guys who go extremely fast, that are crazy fast, they know what the ESC needs. You can't overpower the ESC. You can't, you know, you got to show it love in order for it to perform better. So as I was saying, with, you know, even something like this, if you show it a little bit of love, it'll love you back, you know. For these ESCs to be doing over 200 miles an hour, you know, there has to be some kind of efficiency thing that you need to do. You need to make sure your solder joints are good, 8-gauge, 6-gauge wire and everything. You know, you can't compromise that. ESC will hate you if you try to push that power and you don't do that. So you just got to be careful. So will I say, is it true? I would say partially. You know, it's just nature of the beast. It really is. Pushing a lot of power, there's always going to be some kind of thing happening. I mean, I've had ESCs catch on fire, the original XLX, not the 2, but just because I put a lot of runs on it, and you know, it's just time for it to go. It happens. Believe it or not, these electronics, over time, they're consumables. They don't last forever if you're pushing a lot of power. They most certainly do not. The same way. So, got to run the ESC within its own means. You got to run the car within your own means, and everything will be great. The more you know, the better it'll perform. Okay. All right, let's see here. Nice and plush. Nice and plush. So if you guys can see over here, you guys could see the, maybe this side might be easier. These drive shafts over here. You can see, let me try to spin it. You see where the dog bone is hitting, like right there? You can see how it's kind of a spring. This is a big, big thing that I love doing, that I don't like not doing to a car, because this right here keeps the dog bone in place. You know, and when you're putting a lot of power down, the dog bone can shift left and right, and, you know, cause vibrations. So that's actually a vibration dampener. So if anything, that's what I would recommend, you know, all of you guys do if you have a crazy build or something. Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I might want to put one on the opposite side just to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. All right, so either way, we're going to march on forward here. We got this, we got the things, we got the things, we got the other things. This is going to be the rear for the thing. I don't even know what it's called. Do a couple of these. Let me check on chat. What is up, guys? What's in there? I put wire. So wire insulation that I take off, that I strip, that I right as I solder it. That's what I put in there. And easy, cheap, and simple. Don't need to spend money for something that's free. It's perfect. It's water resistant. It doesn't deteriorate. It's rated for high heat. You know, it's silicone. It's nothing insane. Okay, that's that. All right, top thing is in there. Let's get this wing mount going, just like that. Oop, wrong side. Looking for screws again. Here's one. What's going on, guys? For all of you who are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Come relax and build with me. This is a no stress zone. No stress. There we go. And there's the other one. Easy, clean building. That's what we like. All right, so now we have the wing mount on, which is good. Checking up on chats. What's in there? Yeah, on stock system. Yeah, I say that's too much. Yep, Mr. Really though, he is correct. Yep, he is right with what he said. Stock ESE is great if you're just, you know, doing regular stuff, but if you really need to get stuff done, you need to upgrade. All right, I think this goes this way. I think it might. Actually, I could just test with the body. Either way, we have the two back pins. We need these pins going in here. Now, once we get this in, then we could just start by putting the rear on the chassis, because it's about that time. But we need to make sure we cross our T's and dot our I's with this. Okay, this is one. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, this is going to be number 2. I don't even know which way this thing goes. I'll figure that out. Where's the body? There it is. Okay. Going with the blackout body here. Walk through your thoughts with choosing to stay on plastic. Oh, hang on. I saw your question. Sean Massey, walk us through your thoughts on choosing to stay with plastic parts like the arms and bulkheads versus aluminum. Also, who do you maintain your... All right, so When it comes to upgrading to metal parts, I would say you want the vehicle all in all, a good 70-80% metal, and then the 20-30% you want that to be plastic. Because when you flip, when you break, I don't care what car it is, everything breaks. I don't care if I build it, I don't care if God builds it. Everything breaks on this planet. You want something to break away. And here's the thing, if it doesn't, you're going to bend something and you're going to screw a lot more things up. So when it comes to A-arms, I will never go metal or aluminum. I don't care the reason. I like plastic. That's just my personal preference. A lot of people, they like to have their car look nicer, better. Agreed, it does look nicer. But when you crash it, and when that A-arm doesn't break, what's it attached to? The pins that hold onto the diff housing. You break your diff or diff housing, you're going to be in for at least $100 worth of repairs. And that's the minimal, you know, because you have your differential, your diff housing. Let's say it's all metal, right? You got to buy it all again. You're at least $100-$150, not including the gears inside. You know, I prefer to have these things break. The pin holders, you can have metal, but I'd rather have the A-arm break. 1000%. That's just my personal preference. All right, so these go to the outside. Personal preference. You'll actually see I don't have a single car. Well, actually, I'll take that back. I have one car that has metal A-arms. It's my Relarlo Terminator, but they sent me those A-arms, the upgraded metal A-arms, to see if they fit, how they work, this and that, and all that stuff. So I didn't willingly buy them, but they wanted me to see and test if, hey, do they work? And they do, and they look amazing. Don't get me wrong, but if I'm building a car that's going to jump, going to stunt, I will not be going metal. But even with speed runs, if I crash one time, you know, everyone crashes. I want to make sure I don't have to rebuild the whole car. I'd rather just rebuild a section at a time. And I'd rather one piece break so I know the other section, oh, okay, it's not completely totaled, so it might be all right. Right. We need screws. Here's another one. All right, 1, 2. I'm just going to mock this up for now. All right. Whoa, what's sticking to me? How's it going, guys? How is it going? We're doing a stress-free, awesome build right here. Biscuit plastic arms, toe lengths. Yup, exactly. Exactly. So like the rod ends, like over here, I like metal inside. I like the balls in here to be metal, but I want the rod ends to be, the end lengths to be plastic. Because if you break it, it's like, what, a $10, $20 fix, and it's nothing. It's like 2 bolts. I'd rather do that than take the whole rear diff off and looking cool and nice, because guess what? Everything breaks. I gotta tell you. And I want to build my car to break down how I want it. You know, kind of like an F1 car. Those splitters come off all the time, but it's not too bad putting them back on. But not that I know what it's like to work on an F1 car. But I do know what it's like to work on a couple GT3 series Huracans and R8s. Those I do, but not an F1 car. Those cars were still built to break down like that. Everything on that thing was like that. All right, I still need screws. Should I have had some coffee before this? I can't, my eyes keep skipping around. Perhaps I used them, maybe. I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'll just get some more screws from here. All right, that was not hard. Got some more screws here. Also, for any of you guys who want to support the channel, just know that I would be really appreciative of that. All proceeds go to building this channel, making it better, hopefully doing more lives with you. If you guys can see over here, this is the the whiteboard of awesomeness. Stuart Dance donated a couple streams ago. That was the first donation ever. So just know I'm so appreciative of that. It was only $1, you know. I'm not asking for much, but if you guys do decide, I appreciate it. So that is that. All right, so we seem to be good over here. Need to make sure we're all in. Yes. Kind of looks like we might have to go up a little bit. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is this. That seems a little better. Seems a lot better, actually. That's Big Reg. Reg or Reggie? It's probably Reggie. What's going on? Yo. Okay. All right, so we got the ass done for the most part. Yeah. Pretty sure. Now, one thing that I do like to do, where the hell did it go? With the driver, hand tight every one. If you're building a car that's, you know, it's got some money into it, you don't want to miss a single thing. You really don't. Make sure all the metal to metal is Loctited. Make sure all that stuff is good and Gucci. 2.5. Good, that's in there. Because there's going to be some screws in here that you're not going to get to once this is on the car. And if you try to get to it, well, it's not going to be fun getting to. Or you just take it off. So that's why you want to make sure this is good before it goes on the car. Okay. All right, we're good. Let me just put the sway bar back in. Okay. Nice. That's what the young people would say. We're Gucci. Hang on, I think I saw some chat. What's going on, guys? Let's see. What shock and diff oils am I going with? Oh, on this? Stock diff. Well, yeah, stock diff fluid because he's going to bash around. So we kind of want it to stay kind of loose. But the shock oil, stock, you don't have to change it. The shock springs, tighten them down. Whether you're doing speed runs or whatever, just tight. You know, you don't. There's so much less what you think you have to do. You just need to make sure you tune what they give you right. As I said, you got to show the car love for it to perform better than, you know, than that. I think we're good, but are we? Probably. Yeah. Probably. All right, so what I'm going to do is move this. I'm not going to solder this thing yet because, no. So we still have a lot to do. All right, so here's the front, here's the rear. We just finished both of these guys right here. And, yeah, so I'm going to get the chassis now. This beautiful chassis, full carbon. And, yeah, I'm going to move this stuff over. Make sure nothing is under it, because if you're working on a car, you don't really want to scratch the beautiful chassis that's on here. You guys can see this is what we have so far. Battery trays, almost the rear end. We just got to put everything in there. We have our spool that's about to fall out right here, but it's not tight. It's not tightened because I want to make sure when the dog bones go in, everything is just spaced out right. So if I need to adjust the position of where the spool is going to go, I can, and that's what I want to do. Worst comes to worst, because I'm using V2 drive shafts, V1, and I ordered V1, whatever. I have a fully customizable spool just in case. They're both pretty much the same thing, just a little bit of a different design. And we can make it work. It's no big deal. It's nothing we can't do here. Alright, this is the butt. This is the rear end. And again, make sure that you did everything before this thing goes all the way in. Actually, here, I'll put it this way so you guys can see. Maybe I should tilt this up a little. Hang on. Alright, so here, this is the rear end. Putting this guy in right here. Oh, isn't that easy? Because it is easy. Very simple. Make sure that goes in the right place. Yes, it does. Now we're going to have some screws to screw in on the bottom here. So, okay. Yeah, and this is because the shocks are pushing down, so it's going to be kind of hard at first, only because the shocks are actually pushing down on the arms from the chassis, and that's going to not make it seat in perfectly at all, you know. So you're going to want to start a couple threads of the 2.5mm bolts. So we're going to start getting this guy in right here. Crap, it just wants to keep coming out. I think I caught one. Alright, so now it's going to stay in because we have single bolt holding it. Now what I want to do, because there's spring pressure on it, what you need to do, kind of like tightening a real car tire, you know, kind of like that. But you guys can see over here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. You don't want to do like 1, 2, 3, 4 and tighten them all the way. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you do it like halfway, or halfway, just so it could sit down when you tighten it on flush and even. So I'm not gonna make sure it's super tight with the screw gun here. I'm just making sure it goes on flush, which is what we want. Okay, so now we have 2 in, and we're not at the high torque setting. I'm going to torque them with hand, by hand. Yeah. Is this the right bolt? This one is longer. There you go. We're going to torque with hand. Now, when I have these other 2 in, you're going to see the opposite diagonal ones. They're pushing back out because, oh, that's not the full torque, because we're now allowing the bulkhead to now seat flush on the chassis. And then vice versa. It's just going to keep doing it until it's all the way down. Just like that. Okay, now with hand. Yeah, that's good. And I'm doing it in like almost a star pattern. But, you know, there's only 4, so, you know, as much of a star pattern as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you just want to keep doing that till it doesn't want to go anymore. And you don't want to over-tighten it either. And there we go. We have our rear end on. Check that out, guys. We have a whole rear. We have an ass. So, all right. So we're good here. We're going to have a couple more bolts that we're going to have to do. Let me see if I can find them to attach the wing mount supports to the to that end that we just put on. If I could find the bolts now, that'd be pretty nice. Let's see. I like using 2.5 on everything, honestly. I know the OEM bolt is a button head. Sorry, not a button. It's a cap head. It's a cap head too. But I just like going with a cap head. I just like a cap head 2.5. Just holds up a lot better. It doesn't strip out as much. So if you guys see even the slightest things just like that you can change, do it. You know, of course, you don't want to do too much because you need to know what you're doing all in all. You need to make sure you get the same exact bolt spec right, that you're not screwing a much longer screw into there. You got to take the OEM one out, put the new one in, make sure it's, you know, for the most part perfect. And so that's what we're doing here. And this is going to be a lot easier to remove if need be. You know, it's not going to, crap, I just dropped it. But if you try to remove it, it's going to be a lot easier to remove because it's a 2.5 millimeter head instead of a 2. So it's going to be easier on the customer. And I just personally like doing this myself, you know, so it's always worked for me. And I really don't want to go against that. Make sure you also don't over tighten it. Since it has a bigger head, you want to make sure you know, tighten it appropriately, not too much. All right, so now we definitely have the rear end in. Is there anything else? We have the diffuser. Yeah, actually the rear end is actually all in. Good, good. Let me check up on, oh, holy heck, hang on, guys. God, I've no, it's not the Wi-Fi. Oh my God. God, I've no, it's not the Wi-Fi. Oh my God. I don't know what this is. Sorry, I was trying to check the chat. I see I got a $5 donation from That's Big Reg. Man, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hello from Milwaukee. It's -3. Holy crap, -3. I wouldn't survive there. It's -3 degrees Fahrenheit today. No speed running anytime soon. Yes, I go by Reggie. All right, Reggie. So I'll just call you Reggie for now on. I enjoy the lives. Please keep them coming. Thank you so much once again, guys. Thumbs up in the chat. I appreciate Reggie for donating $5. And even if you didn't, I appreciate it regardless. Even if it was $1, I thank you so much. I was actually trying to figure out how to get to the chat this whole time, and I accidentally went out, and then it just wouldn't, I don't know, it just wouldn't let me back in. It's just the controls are different when I have the phone like that. I don't know. But thank you so much. So what this means, we're going to stop. Hang on. Hang on. We're going to stop real quick. I got to update my board of awesomeness. I'm going to update. Hang on. I'll just put Reggie. I guess. Ooh, I mean, whatever name you really want on top of there. Let's see. That's big. Let's do this. Oh, hang on. I'll probably do it in pink just because it's brighter color. Hang on, guys. This build is going to commence very shortly. I have to update my board of awesomeness. Hang on. I got to see how I spell. I'm so illiterate. Just bear with me. That's D-A-T-Z. Big with 2 G's. Hang on. That's big. That's big. Reg. $5 donation. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, you're on the board now. Oh my God, I have no room till I move. Look, you're on the board of awesomeness. I don't know what the hell to call it, but yeah, so I guess that's that. Thank you. That was just a $300 remote that I threw that thing into. Oh my God, actually, hang on. It's a $300 remote. I literally just threw it on my radio link. Crap. Yeah, don't get too excited. Wait a minute. Another. I got 15 now. Oh my God, I'm going to eat tonight. Sean Massey. Oh my God, thank you. Let me get this silly, stupid board back out. SEAN. Oh my God, we want red. Where'd it go? I threw it. Yeah, I really hit that remote. Sean. Let's see here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. MASSEY. MASSEY with the 10. Thank you so much. So between Reggie and Sean Massey, I'm eating tonight. I'm eating food, solids, and maybe some liquids. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. All jokes aside, I really do. Thank you. I'm here giving good advice, years of RC knowledge. I'm not going to do you guys wrong. I want to see everyone go fast, the safest way possible. Thank you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. Even though some of you who don't donate, that's fine. I still appreciate you watching and tuning into this stream. I appreciate you. Now I need to make sure my remote after the stream still works. But all right, so let's not get distracted here. Let's keep on going. But again, Sean and Reggie, thank you guys with the 10 and the 5. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, what the hell was I doing? All right, we're going to, actually I need to make sure because we have this carbon fiber top brace here. And once you start going with aftermarket upgrades, you need to make sure things aren't going to go on because some of the aftermarket upgrades are going to actually compensate that, so you don't even need it at all to begin with. So you need to start looking and seeing. That's why I have the spool out. I have all this extra stuff out because sometimes, what the hell is this? This isn't even the right one. Maybe I have one. Well, that's stupid. Oh, no, it is. Oh, my God, I'm stupid. So this carbon chassis, I guess it can, or the tower adapts. There's 2 different holes for different towers like this. So this one is going to go up over here. And if you have the V1 chassis brace, you can still use it on this. So, okay. All right. So we're still good. I'm starting to sweat a little bit, but we're good. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So it allows you to use either one. And I'll show you guys once I mock this up over here. I'll show you guys. Let me maybe move this out of the way so you guys can see. Okay. I think it can still go in here. Yeah. Oh, see, so now I'm gonna have to remove the what's it called? The body post, only because it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to get to. Oh snap! Hang on. We're at 20 now. That big. I don't know how much you're eating tonight. You know YouTube take. Oh yeah, I mean they do tax it, but either way, take more. I appreciate it, Reggie. Thank you. I'm gonna have to write a +5 to this. 5 + 5. +5. Oh my God, I can't write. I could build the hell out of a car, but I can't write. 5. Thank you so much, Mr. Reggie. Yeah, I mean, YouTube does, like, they do take a little bit out, but either way, I mean, I'm still genuinely happy with $1. I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna, oh my God, I need at least 100. No, guys, this is fun, but it's also taking my time. And guys, if I do $20 a stream, I'm more than happy with that. Just, you know, I appreciate that nonetheless. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate both of you. Yeah, so now we need to, do I have my extension? No, I don't. Crap. See, so now this is what I was talking about right here. You got to make sure everything is like placed in. Probably what I should have done was put the chassis brace on first and then mount it on the bottom. Just because now I got to undo this here. And we really don't like doing work twice, you know? What did you use for the vibration dampeners? Like a piece of fuel tubing. All right, so what I use is actually what I guarantee everyone, well, I'm going to say 95% of everyone is going to have. That would be the silicone, hang on. The silicone, where the hell is it? The protectant silicone on wire. You just take some scissors, you take it off, and it's bouncy, it's water resistant, it's waterproof. You don't need to spend $5-10 on like the little rubber grommets. You could, and it's cool that they're already like, you know, cut out and made. But hell, I use this. My fastest car, 160 miles an hour. Before they even made OEM grommets for Arrma, I was doing that. It's just a little bit of a harmonic balancer, and that's actually a good reason why Spartan never ran an extended spool like this, because the drive shaft never wobbled that much, because right from the factory I put that in from the drive shaft. Well, it happened once, but what's it called? I then put a brand new drive shaft in before I ran it. Then I put the little harmonic, where the hell is it? Like the little balancer thing, or whatever comes OEM. It's got the 2 bearing thing. I put that, and then I put like a little, I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, of course not. Right here. See my finger? If I tilt it anymore, it might fall, but it's a little piece of insulation. You could use like 10 gauge, 8 gauge, or whatever, but you put it in on the part where it likes to squish down like that, and when the drive shaft goes like left and right, it actually catches it. Instead of it banging, 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 it stops it prematurely and keeps it going the same direction without it wobbling. That's why Spartan has never, before these extended spools ever came out, anyone, before the Limitless V2 was out, and it came with an extended spool, Spartan never had an issue. And I told myself, oh, that's a really good idea to go with an extended spool. And I told myself, if it happens one more time, I'm going to go with it. And to this day, haven't needed it. So there's that. You know, you also got to make sure that the drive shaft doesn't come bent out of the factory, because there has been several occurrences where a brand new drive shaft has a slight little wobble in it, like the Creighton 8S. That one's probably the worst. That's the longest one. That's a 201 millimeter. Ask me how I know that exact size, because it's happened many times. And then I built like a little whatchamacallit thing up there. Oh, did we just get a donation? Oh, that's awesome. Melvin Vega, I enjoy your vids, brother. Watching from Puerto Rico. Holy crap. That's awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. I wish the chat just stayed open. Oh, I see why. Because it cuts across my whole screen. Okay. Either way, thank you so much, Melvin. Thank you. All right. Where's my board? God, at this rate, we're never getting done with this Limitless. But it's not a bad thing. You know, I'm just going to do another stream. Melvin. Let's see. Melvin. Vega. With the 10. With the 10. Melvin Vega, Sean Massey, Reggie, and Stuart Dance from the original stream. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh. Once I get into this new place, because I'm actually moving next month, I'm going to have a room just for this. But here in Florida, it's just way too expensive. So, you know, I could only do so much, or, you know, all that. I see we have another question in here. Let's see what's up. Have you ever thought of modding a Sen 450? Oh my god, yeah. And it's not a basher, and I'm not saying it's not a good vehicle, because it's an amazing vehicle. I've worked on many of them. To even run that with a brush motor and ESC is great. What you want to get that for is specifically for like lights, the up and down suspension thing, the electronic suspension, like all that crap. And I think, because the build that's right over 4 feet that way, that I can't show you guys because I've been hiding it for 2 years, that's been taking a lot of my creativity time up. So I just haven't gotten to that yet. And plus, not a lot of shops down here have a lot of upgraded parts for the Sen, and so on and so forth. You know, it's a great vehicle and it looks sweet. I've seen a lot of people, they make trailers for them, like they're real deal trailers. They got like oh, hang on, I gotta get this. They have like music coming from them. They have LGBTQ lights. They literally, oh my god, RGB lights. They have literally everything coming from it. And those trailers are legit. They're real. They cost like, well, there's a couple people here in Florida, they actually built them. They're sweet. Oh my god, the screw came out. I mean the nut. Did it? Yeah, it did. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. But I have a couple more fish on my pan that I need to fry first, which one of them would be the Hobeo GTB that I haven't shown on the channel in a couple years now, because that is the new project that I've been keeping hidden. And I know for a fact when I, you know, come out with it, there might be some people that might want to, you know, use the idea or whatnot. But I'm trying to solidify some things first before it launches. I'm just you know, I'm trying to do it right. And I also want to make another car. There's going to be a single motor, and oh god, it's going to be sweet, a dual motor version of that. What is that I tell you? I can't tell you. It's not just a regular motor ESC on a car, carbon check. No, it's nothing like that. This is a one-off thing. And to this day, I have not seen anyone make something that sweet. And truthfully, I'm kind of nervous about launching it. I just want to make sure I do it right, if you guys know what I mean. I want to do it right. I want to make sure I get my T's crossed and whatever. Let's see, chat. Let's see, chat. So I gotta keep hitting the chat button. Yeah, basically, it's a secret. You have a dual motor Sen? That's awesome. Yeah, that's what it's called, Major. It's a camper. It's called a camper. So as you can see, I'm not like crazy into it, but you could do a hell of a lot of stuff to those Sens. I just know if I get into that, I'm not gonna make it like, oh, let's just change the motor in ESC and call it a day. No, it's gonna be, you know, the whole shebang, and I don't have enough room to do the whole shebang right now. Colossus needs to start paying rent. He does. He's too big. Man needs to start paying for a room. All right, so we got that. All right, now we got this in. That's all tight. That is good. Are all these bolts in? 1, 2. Yes. All right. Now we actually have the rear end in or on. I don't know. Oh, hang on. There's my nut fell. All right. So look, we have our whole rear end on. We have the whole transmission drivetrain going on. Now what I want to do is get the front on because we need a front. And this is going to be a little bit, well, not tricky, but it's going to be different only because it's going to involve the bracing. I need to make sure that when I put it on, it needs to go the right way. In comparison to the left, we don't want it to go the left way. You know what? I have an idea, guys. I need a little tire so I can pivot the Limitless so you guys can see it. All right, I'll just use this Hoon tire right here. Can you guys see it a little bit better? Just like this? Kinda, hopefully. Let me know. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should go on my other tablet to see about the whatchamacallit, all the comments. It's gonna be so much easier rather than just typing it. That is smart. I'm a smart noodle. Let's try. Let's see this. Subscriptions. All right, here you go. So now I can see comments on my tablet without having to actually hit the thing. Awesome, there you go. Ooh, and there is quite a bit of a delay, but that's whatever. It's no biggie. Biggie. We don't want biggie. All right, perfect. We are golden now. We're golden. Now I can see you guys, and now I can see also the chat. Let's see how you mount that support. Yeah, so we're going to be mounting this guy very shortly. What I want to do before I mount it is get the front end on because that's going to require couple extra things that I got to make sure it goes right. What's going to be the easiest thing is to loosen everything. So what I did off the stream, I just put the whole bell crank in, and it wasn't too much. You guys aren't missing anything. That's that Locktite I put. So now that we have that loosened up, I guess it still just doesn't want to move. We got to make sure. Let's see. It's going to be innovative. Yeah. Quite literally. Oh, there you go. All right, so now it's up in. The clearances are so tight. You just got to make sure you loosen up all the bolts, right? Maybe I should move this. Just got to loosen everything up. Make sure it seats right, you know, instead of left. Okay. Yeah. All right, I think it's in. I think. But we can't think, we have to know. Can we balance it on the wing? Yes, we can. All right, so I just put this front end on right over here. And I'm going to try to have it seat normally or naturally. I don't know. Some word. There we go. The 2mm that hold onto the pin hold, the arm pin holders, that's what makes it seat. So I want to go that route first. There we go. And then I'm going to torque it with my handle driver just because it's what we want to do. You want to make sure it's torqued. I don't know why, but I trust my hand more than the clutch. The torque on the clutch of the, I don't know. What the hell am I talking about? I just trust my hand a little bit more. Or it makes me sleep better at night. I don't know. Now we're going to have, let's see. Now we're going to have a couple more bolts holding in this diff housing. You guys can see 1, 2, 3, 4 right over there. We have 1, 2 here. 3 bolt, 4 bolt. Yeah, so we're going to have to shoot these guys in before we can put the front splitter on. So this is how we do it. I think this is going to be too long. The bolts that they supplied. Yeah. That's silly. I'm not going to use these bolts that they supplied. I'm just going to use what is OEM. Because when you buy upgraded chassis, they normally come with other bolts. And the bolts are sweet, you know. I just don't want them too long. 1. Now remember what I said. We're doing this in a like a cross star pattern almost. Actually, the front, since that's going to be taller, I could probably use the longer bolts. So the longer bolts we shall use. Probably got more of a distance to travel because of the kick up anyway. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Nice. And again with my hand, we're making sure it's pretty much snug. Not over tightening it, just making sure the bolt doesn't want to go in anymore, because brand new plastic, once you put a new bolt into it, you know, you're probably going to try to get your, you know, as much screw in there as possible without it not being in there. I don't know how to word that, but all right, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to be able to put the splitter on, or the front assembly. You guys can see this thing. And he went with the scorched splitter. Beautiful scorched carbon splitter over here. Matches the scorched, whatchamacallit, chassis. Oh my god, my glasses keep falling. Alright. What we could actually do first is put the nuts inside the splitter thing first. It doesn't matter. But I like putting it in just so I don't have to worry about it when I'm screwing it in and whatnot. Yeah, that one's just going to fall out. Nice, and there you go. Fits together like a nice little puzzle piece. Now with these longer bolts, I'm going to put them over here now. Just because I like the way they look. Is there a nut in there? No, I don't think there is. This is where I need to put the nuts. Got nuts. There we go. Now my one finger is going to have to hold the nut because we're putting a little bit of pressure on the screw. Goes in there. Now keep in mind, you don't want to have too much torque where the plastic is on the outside and going into metal or a nut, just because you don't want to, when you put too much torque, it's going to stretch out the plastic, it's going to force its way through, and you're going to have to use a flathead to get it out. It's just going to be annoying. All right, now I'm probably going to have to do it this way. So now here's the front of it. You guys could actually probably see exactly where, well, almost, where I'm putting the, there's the screw. Putting the screw. Okay, we're all good. It's all good. All right, real quick. There we go, we're back. Johnny Bland, what's up? What's up, what's up, what's up? How's it going, guys? All right, so we're actually doing pretty damn good regarding this whole Limitless build. We're making up some good time. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, no shoot. What's going on? The RC Ratbag. Hey, man, I'm from Australia. Oh, crap. Hang on. YouTube doesn't give me enough time to read the message. The RC Ratbag. Hey, man, I'm from Australia. Currently in grade 11. I recently have made my Limitless 8S. Any recommendations on upgrades? Hell, I mean, well, oh my God, I missed junior year of high school. Thank you so much for the donation. Thank you. $14.99 Aussie dollar. Thank you. Recommendations on upgrades. I mean, I would personally, I mean, you're already Limitless on 8S. That's a lot of power. It depends on what you want. If you just want to like enjoy or, you know, go fast, there's all different kinds of upgrades on whichever way you want to use the vehicle. What I would recommend, getting an upgraded motor mount housing for the center, just because that's where all the power is going. That's where I would start. Other than that, you don't have to spend a crap ton of money just to get the car right. You know, just as I said before earlier in the stream, just get some spacers, put them in between the cups, like the diff cups of the spool or whatever. You know, make everything just harmonize a little bit nicer and easier. You know, if you have any questions or whatnot, I mean, hit up my, what's it called? My Instagram, and I'll see your exact build and we'll go from there, because it depends. Everyone's car is different. And I cannot forget. Here we go. Oi! I gotta add you to the board of awesomeness. I gotta add you. Let's see. Hang on, I'm just trying to figure this crap out. They don't make it easy. Let's see. The RC Ratbag. Yeah, RC Ratbag. The RC Rat Bag with the, what was it, $14.99? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. $14.99. Thank you, the RC Ratbag. Thumbs up in the chat. Thank you, RC Ratbag. Melvin Vega, Sean Massey, and Reggie. So far, thank you so much for contributing. Hopefully I'll actually get a tripod so you guys can see, you know, better, easier, and whatnot. Okay. Let's see. Use another device to view. Yep, yeah. That I'm trying to do that with this. See, I see me through me. I'm trying to do that, but for some reason it's not allowing me. This is ridiculous how slow it is. Technology after 3-4 years just goes down the drain. It really does. Oh, let me like. All right. Let's see. I don't know. That's strange. I'm trying to use my tablet here, but it's not refreshing. Maybe it's just stupid or something. I don't know. But apparently this is ahead. This is ahead. Use notify. Yeah. DTG, how's the freaking weather here? Oh my God. Here it's apparently it's rainy and cold and flu-like right now. So, you know, gotta love Florida. Yesterday it was hot and humid and hell. And now today it's extremely cold. I don't know. Florida needs to make its own damn mind up. All right, so here's our spool. Putting this guy right back in here, just like that. Now, what I'll tell you guys regarding a spool, you want this thing to be able to have a very tight tolerance, but you also want to make sure it's not too tight. You want to make sure it's still able to go in all the way. You see how that worked? You want to make sure there's no pressure on the bearings, because once you apply like 50 to 80,000 RPM on something that has pressure, like the bearings, you're going to destroy a bearing. You're going to be in rear wheel drive, and let's just say you have no more brakes. Happened to me once. So when you go with like a full metal housing, you have metal bearings, you have a full metal top, all that crap. You want to make sure that you space the spool to where you have a little bit of play. You need a little bit of play. You don't want it to be tight like this. If you guys can hear, you want the lightest bit of play, because you could also eliminate a good 90% of that play with the little harmonic balancer things that I told you guys about. And that's what you want. You don't want too much slop, but you need a little bit of play. It's almost like adjusting backlash, but for bearings. I guess that's a weird way to put it, but yeah, there we go. Oh, that's so much better. Now you guys can see. But you see how the spool like slowly just fell out? You want to make sure it's super easy and nice. A little bit of play. Once I put the drive shafts and drivetrain in here with the balancers, all this is going to, for the most part, be eliminated, but it's not going to be sloppy at all. It's going to be held in place respectfully. That's what you want. Spool can easily go in and out. If you're trying to push that spool in like, you know, you don't, something's wrong. Take the spool out, rebuild it, lose a shim or something, and, you know, that's what you want to do. Now, keep in mind, this spool, I also did not Locktite yet, because I still might need to space the spool out for whatever. And I wasn't able to do that because the front and the rear end of the Limitless wasn't in, so won't be able to hold the drive shaft. So let's see which way which. Let's see which way is which. Yeah, this is close. I think, yeah, this is for the V2 Limitless, I think. I don't know. It's a V1 Limitless shaft, but I'm gonna make it work. Yeah, that's definitely not working. That's not working. Let's see if at least the front one fits, in which I'm pretty sure it will. Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, so now what I need to do, because of the Limitless, the V2 Limitless is actually spaced up about a ½ of an inch. What I need to do is actually move this whole spool assembly right over here a ½ an inch this way to compensate, because we have a V2 Limitless, because the holes are spaced out to be a V2 Limitless, and a V1 spool, so we can't use this guy, unfortunately, but that's okay. That's why a spool like this is probably one of your best investments if you're not sure of what size dog bones to get, because you can still move the spur gear left or right or the bearing, and you can make sure you know, do it right. But as I said, that's why I didn't. That's exactly why I did not Locktite it. Sent to recent comments also. Yeah, I don't know. It's logged in. I don't know. Tablet's about to die anyway, so whatever on that. What is up, Mr. Andrew? Can we put the Christmas tree away? You want to know what the funny thing is? I'm Jewish, but I love having the tree up. It's, you know, it's that. I could move it. I could, but we're moving next month, and I don't care to put it away. So what that means, it's a temporary yes. It's a temporary yes. I will be moving it. All right, so now it's going to come a high RC builder level. It's hard for me to explain, but what you need to do is compensate the distance in the V1 Limitless spool onto the V2, and you could do that just by shifting everything over. And to do that, you can pretty much still use, for the most part, the same spool, but you got to make sure it's the same width all throughout. So you could just move the bearings, move the this, move the that, all that crap. All right, so what I'm going to do is just mimic this right here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that seems to be about the same. Okay. Maybe I could do more though. I'm gonna have to, yeah. The difference might just be this spacer right here, if you guys could see that. This might be it right there. But again, that's why you want to make sure you don't Loctite anything until you know for a fact you're done. Okay, so this, and this. We're gonna get the bearing out. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's a definite no. Hang on. Let's see about this. Just got to try different ways to compensate. Now, here's the thing. What's good about this? You can move. This is where you're going to start. You could start anywhere. I could put a spacer in between there. That's what's good about this kind of a spool. And then what you want to do, because, oh, the drive shaft didn't fit, I'm going to show you guys how to cheat the system a little bit. It doesn't matter which side you start off with. This is the front, this is the rear. You just want to start off with one. It doesn't really matter. Mike S, what's up? I finally after 25 hours stop building RCs. Keep some and sold some with massive money pit. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you're definitely invested in that. All right, so it really doesn't matter which one. You just got to start off by putting a drive shaft in and going from there. There's no other way to really, do it. This is how we do it. Custom, that's what this is. It's custom, but also OEM custom. It's like doing it a different but the same way. Is this going in? There we go. I might have to lose the, yeah. Yeah, or I might just have to trim some of the, what's it called right over here? There you go, if you guys can see. I might have to trim some of this chassis brace. Which really isn't a big deal, but I have this drive shaft wedged all the way up on the, what's it called? So now we can see the spool is actually moved a little bit further that way. And, okay, so this is this. What I'm going to want to do, actually, is loosen this up. We are loosening this brace thing up. But this is how you're going to do this right, if you're actually going to do it. Yeah, there's a little bit more play now, which is kind of what I want. We might not even need a spacer on the other side, guys, which is kind of good. I'm actually going to loosen. I'm going to loosen this chassis brace because we might not even need it now. Or I might just trim it, in which I told you guys I hate trimming. But we're going to trim this. We're probably going to have to trim it up just because the drive shaft is thicker. Because he wants the larger drive shafts for, he's bashing with an 800 kV. This monstrosity right here. Yeah, and you don't want to have the motor in while you do this. You want to make sure you have a clear, clean set of everything. So right over here, I'm probably going to have to trim like that. No big deal, but if you're going to make this work, you got to do it right. And not left. All right, so we don't need this. We might just, we might just need another bearing on this side, and we might be Gucci. See how I could compensate the distance? I can move it anywhere else. Oh, that's close. Okay, so we need like a very small shim. Maybe this would be good. Let's try it out. It's a little bit too tight. So now what I want to do is, we need something a little bit thinner than this thing. Do we have something a little bit thinner? I'm going to have to use like a genuine shim. Where the hell did it go? Or you could use like a rubber thing. Rubber is great because it's not going to force it. Okay, so we're making good progress because I pretty much know what I need now. There's really no special way to do this. You'll just know how to do it once you, I don't know, once you know what I'm talking about, I guess. The OEM Arrma one, I think that's the same thickness, yeah. So we can't use the OEM Arrma one. Yeah, I have a couple shims in here. Let's see. Let's see. And we need more 8mm shims. Woo-wee. We're running very low. It's hard to find them too. Very skinny 8mm shims. That is what pretty much allows you to do anything and everything. Oh, to like a Limitless spool shaft or Arrma spool shaft. You could, run it in anything. But I found, compared to this, see, this is what's a little bit too big. I have this one, which is microscopic. So I know for a fact this is going to work, but we need to see if we can use one or two. I don't know. Here's the microscopic one, and then here's a slightly thicker one. What I'll do is actually put the smaller one up towards the bearing so it rides only the inner race, so it doesn't melt the outer. Ha, that's the right way to do it. All right, let's see. Testing. It's still a little bit too, or what we could probably do. Is there spacer on this side? No. I might just need another one. I don't really want to go 3 spacers because it's using all my shims up. Yeah, it's literally half the size. Yeah, it's even closer, but it's still not enough even using all these right here. Let's see what else we got. What else can I come up with? I mean, we could probably just get away with this right here. Could probably just do it. I mean, it is really close. It is super close. Super duper close. Is that the bearings that are super hard to spin? Maybe there might be a little bit of a... there is a little bit of a clearance difference between both these bearings. So what I'm going to do is take this bearing out. Even if it's like a little bit, when we have that larger spacer in, that little bit is pretty much the biggest change of what we need. I don't want to lose anything. I'm just trying to change the bearing on this side. And I'm trying to keep all the spacers in the exact order. That's what I'm trying to balance out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. Oh, nice. Oh no, wait, I missed something. I was about to say, that went right on. No, I was missing a spacer. Yeah, that's pretty damn close. But I want a little bit of space. See, now this is the one downside to me, is that I want to be perfect when it comes to like the spool spacing. I already know that once you put power to this, it's going to start making its own area, but it's not really how I like to do it. All right, either way, I'm going to put this end on this side. Again, we're not using Locktite. Where'd my 2 go? We're not using Locktite because we're still putting it together, taking it apart, making sure it's right. It's really just a bunch of back and forth stuff regarding this. That's really just what it comes down to, back and forth, until you get it right. You know, $1,000, $2,000 car, I really don't want to skimp out on a the slightest difference. I could probably do this right here, maybe, because I'm using one of the longest spacers. I could probably do this right here, actually. If you guys could see over here, yeah, this is way too long. Let's see this right here. See how this goes. No, still needs more. Let's try this skinny one. Again, it's just back and forth. So close. I think we're back in the same predicament. I used this one originally, and I need to go slightly down. Yeah, that's the same size. Okay, so what's slightly different? Right here, probably. Right here, right here, right here. Right here, right now. Yeah, this is just the annoying part. But once this is done and once this is good, you know, ooh. Once it's done and once it's good, you'll have the power. Not really. You'll just keep your bearings safe, because if it's spaced out to where it's squeezing the bearing as you put, let's say, a lot of RPM to it, it's going to generate heat. Heat's going to make things thermally expand. It's called thermal expansion, and bad things happen, especially at high RPM. That's what we want to avoid. And hopefully right now this is the combination. Now I don't care where this goes, because I have my cup on the other end. Okay, again, we're still not Loctiting it. It really doesn't matter which way I go. Yeah, which way I go. See there? See that little bit of space? The slightest bit of space, that's what you want. Oh. Okay. In we go. Okay, that's up all the way. Ooh, we're close here. Oh, we might need this original drive shaft. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it wants. It wants the original drive shaft, unless I'm going crazy. Let me see. Let's see. Maybe we could get a shorter one in here. Oh, that might have been it. This was, oh no. Damn it, we're so close. I'm trying to, trying to compensate. We're so close. We have one drive shaft in. We could probably get away with this, but I don't want to probably. That's not good. We don't want to probably here. What I'm actually going to do is space out the cups a little bit more, because we still have a lot of room. Probably a 1/4 inch on each side. There we go, 1/4 inch. Ah, yeah, it's so close. Maybe I could use my own custom spool. This I used in a my Arrma Big Rock, in which you guys will see that future video. What can we do? Yeah, so this spool is doing exactly what we want, but the drive shafts that were included are just a little bit too short. Let's see if we got any comments real quick. Take a little break off that. All right, let's see. What's up, Preston? How's it going? NC Matt, I have a Gen 1 Arrma Italian and want to make it a speed car. How hard is it? I mean, gear it up, put belted tires on it, and gear it up till it blows up, really. You know, just stay safe. Ever tried green Loctite 609 to keep your gear and spur? I've never used green, but I have blue and red. I prefer blue. You know, it's no big deal, but I think green is like isn't that like a medium high compound? I think. Oh my god, medium, semi-permanent. What am I talking about? Let me see. All right, so this one is slightly longer, so you could probably, it might actually be good to have the OEM one up in the front, then the super thick one in the back. Yeah. All right. I like that. I'll still give him the rear one. Obviously, I'm not going to keep it, but the front's going to keep weight off a little bit, which is kind of optimal. All right, let's see what this is like. Oh, of course, I didn't tighten that. But again, we're not tightening or doing anything. All right, so hopefully you guys can see what's in the way here. Nothing really. Okay. All right, so here we have everything, and what I'm doing is just making sure it spins right, evenly. And again, it shouldn't be crazy loose, but it should be enough to where it's not going to stress or strain once we have everything tightened in. That's really what you want. And you need, as I said, a little bit of play in the front and rear drive shafts, like the slightest bit. Because if it's too tight, it could generate heat and bad things happen. Did I tighten this one up already? A little bit of play, a little bit of play. What we could probably do actually is move this. You can actually move the whole. You can move the whole spool exactly where you want it to go. You can see how I'm moving it back and forth. This is how you space it out, and you don't want too much space in the back or the left. You know, I'm only considering because this guy's going with this BFM, this big motor. You know, you need a little bit of play, but you want to eliminate as much as possible. All right. So what I'm going to do now, because what's really going to lock this in is the pinion gear, and then we could screw the cups on. So I'm taking both the grub screws out, and we're going to use the longer grub screw that goes on the flat spot, because when it's flat, it's actually going to use more distance. So we want to use the longer grub screw. This is the one that's going to go on first, and then we're going to want to try to find a flat spot on the shaft, which I see right now. And then I'm just going to screw it in here, just like this. Oh, hi. But right as you're screwing it in, you need to make sure that you still have the correct spacing. Hang on 1 second. Okay. Look, these breakfast things came out. I was tempted to have one.
Okay, I almost died again.
You almost died again?
Yeah.
Well,
Bye-bye.
in 1 month, we won't be here anymore, so it's fine. Yeah, it's crazy driving home down here in Florida. All right. Now that I did the one main grub screw on there, now what I can do is actually Locktite the heck out of these scrub screws. You all right?
It's cold.
Good. It's cold. You like the cold. She complains when it's hot, when it's cold. Yeah. Yeah, it's cold and wet and rainy out. All right, you got to make sure when screwing all this in, you're on the flat spot too. So there you go. You see this little bit of play on this drive shaft? Like a very little bit. If you don't have like a little rubber harmonic balancer, you could literally leave it like this and you'll be fine. You just don't want it to go like, 1/4 inch one way, 1/4 inch that way. But where's my little harmonic thing? What I'm actually going to do is still put a little bit of scissors. I'm going to put a little bit of it inside here. Do we have, here we go. Make sure everything is clean, you know, wipe up your Locktite as well. Let's see comments real quick. DJ's soup, retaining compound, yep, yeah, on the shaft, not the grub screw. So I actually put some Locktite on the, well, I put it inside the hole where the cup is, so it's on the threads, and it's also on the shaft of the, whatchamacallit, oh my god, of the spool. I'm going blank. But here's our little harmonica, harmonica balancer. Actually, since that there's a lot less space in there, I would say you don't even need to use it. But, you know, if you have a way to get like a little skinny thing in there, just to have something in there, just so it's not metal on metal chattering. Like, it's literally the smallest, you can't even see it, but this is also 10 gauge, 12 gauge, so it's a lot thinner. That was 6 gauge wire because I saw it's 6 gauge wire on his ESC wires. Yeah, even that's a little bit too much, so I think I'm just going to refrain. Yeah, that's fine. That's more than fine. Because I also have the little O-rings in there too that they include, which is pretty nice. Alright, so just as long as you have something in there, that's good. That's perfect. We're going to spin to the other side, and we're going to do the supporting grub screw now, which is the shorter one. You want the shorter grub screw on the side without the flat spot, because the shorter one isn't going in deeper as if it were to be on, you know. Go back and forth a couple times so it gets on all the threads. Alright, so here we are good. That's number 1, this is number 2, make sure that's tight. And then with our little napkin, just a little nappy, we're gonna do this. Okay. I call these boogers. It's just a lot of extra Locktite that you don't need. I don't think I did the back yet. No, I did not. You need to make sure you Locktite everything. Okay, so again, it's on the threads of the cup, and it's also on the actual shaft, so it not only holds through the threads, but it's also going to do that on the shaft as well. And then obviously if you're doing a build for someone, or if you're doing a crazy build and you're not going to run it the same day, don't worry about it. But if you're out and about and you want to get a screw in, Locktite's not going to dry for at least half an hour to an hour. So you need to make sure, you know, if you're doing a crazy build like this or whatever else, it has time to dry. It's on the flat spot. It's also on the threads. Give it at least, I personally, Spartan doesn't run unless he has like a whole day of dry time. And that's that. So here we go. We were still able to make it work. We used a different drive shaft, and bam, we have a little bit of space. It's in there. It's super nice and light, and it's not too chattery. So this spool, obviously, we're not going to use because we weren't able to do it. All right, so that is that. We did that part, and that wasn't that bad. What I'm probably going to have to end up doing is grinding this down, this chassis brace. Oh, actually maybe not, because it's the original what's it called, it's the original drive shaft, so I think we're good. I would personally rather have the thinner drive shaft up in front, or whichever one is longer. I'd rather it be lighter weight. The heavier it is, the higher chance of it's going to give you a lot of vibrations, and you want to avoid all of that. as much as possible. All right, so for all the guys watching now, seems like we have a few different people. How's it going? We are doing a ground up Limitless build. We're focusing fire on the center drivetrain. About an hour ago, we put the rear end and the front end on, so now we're working our way inside, and then we're going to hit up the electronics after, which is probably going to be tomorrow, because we are actually pretty far into this build already. The build. I might want to use a different screw because I feel like this one is giving out with all the torque that I put on it. OEM screws like to give out sometimes. Yeah. In the trash right away. Okay. All right, now we're getting this back on, and now we're getting the show on the road. That was pretty much probably one of the hardest things to do. Not that it's hard, but that to do it, it's going to require you kind of have to think outside the box to get to the same place, because you're compensating like half of an inch where the motor mount is, because you could put a larger motor in a V2 Limitless, but if you have a V1 spool, you know, you're going to have to compensate somewhere the distance, and that's why it's good to have a single spool all the way, you know, so on and so forth, all the way through. Now, where did that one long screw go? Right here. So now I'm going to put it in under here. There we go. All right, so now we have our assembly in. So here we go. Now you guys can see, now this thing is actually in here. We have, because the rear is going to have a lot more power, we have the thicker 8mm drive shaft, and then over here we have our standard 5 build. It's also shorter, so it's going to be very lightweight. I'm trying to keep this car as light as possible because he's going with this monster mill, and we're actually up to the part where we can put this in, because now that we have the spool already there, the spur gear is locked in. Now we can actually set our gear mesh and put the motor in, which is pretty cool. And again, you want to make sure it's not like crazy loose, but you want to make sure that it's you know, it's not going to go anywhere, but you still have enough play. That's what you want, especially if you're putting a lot of RPM to this. You need to be careful with that. You don't ever want to squeeze it in. Okay, let's see now. Let's see. Oh, I see already something that I have to take off. Yep. So I got to take off the rear chassis brace spacer thing, because now we're going to work up our way on closing the top, securing the center spool, and then we can put the motor in. So we're actually up to about that right now. Once I put this motor in, then I'm going to call this stream, and then I'll be on tomorrow, just because we've been doing this for about a good hour. Yes, we're about an hour into this right now. Okay. And I got to take off the rear body post mount thing, just because it's going to have me try to work around it, so you might as well just take it off. All right, got to undo this. All right, so this we're not using anymore. If you guys can see right here, we're not using this because what's right over here on this chassis brace, it's compensating. This black, oh my God, this black thing right here is compensating right over here. So we can get rid of this. This is what the this chassis brace is going to be replacing. So we don't need that anymore. I'm going to want to start up on the top. Hopefully it's the right size. Yeah, it is. Okay. God, if there's anything more than just the spool that I had to do like that, I was going to start capping. All right, let's keep that there because we have spacers that I already put in there. Yeah, I did do some work off stream just to make this kind of fly by a little bit easier. All right. Now where'd the screw go? There it is. Now we're going to put this pin inside here. All right, so once we get done with this and we secure the center diff by closing that, then we're going to put this monstrosity of a motor inside. Well, that monstrosity of a motor. Finally, we're almost up to the motor on this one. Oh no, stay. There you go. Caught the threads at the nut. Now we're on our way. All right. Now we're going to put this body post back on. Hopefully this is the last time. Yeah, last time I'm going to have to use it. Or last time I'm going to have to take it off. How's it going, guys? I appreciate all of you watching. Thank you, thank you. We're doing a ground up Limitless build here. Ground up, ground up. Literally from the ground. If you want to see the beginning of it, it's kind of dry. I think the last stream that we did was doing this thing from nothing. So this is a good 25-50. This is going to bring us to about 75% of the vehicle done. The next stream we'll do, I think we'll finalize it. All right, so now here we are. I'm going to move the motor here. You guys can see this is the top part of what holds the spool down over. Oh my God, right over here. Okay, so now I'm going to just want to make sure it goes down very easy. I'm going to try to not force anything because that's the last thing you want to do when doing metal to metal. If you have to force something, something isn't right. It should just slowly go down, and there we go. And we do have spacers here, so I'm trying to not like move it too much. Boom, just like that. That went on super duper easy. Phew. All right, that was the hard part. Now, now that this is down, we want to hit a little bit of Loctite on each of these screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully the spacers just don't come out. Because under every single one of these screws, there's a spacer. So I want to make sure. What I could have done was put Loctite on. You know what? That's a better idea. That's a much better idea. I'm going to put Loctite on them while I have this out like this instead of taking it out and in. We're doing big brain things. Big brain. Oh, so that's going into plastics, so that's really not going to matter much. Ooh. Loctiting every single screw that's going into metal. So there you go, just like this right here. And again, we want to make sure this just slides in, because if it's done right, we should not have to force it. Nice, nice, nice. Then I'm going to want to start it off, not with a power driver. I'm going to start it off with my handle driver. Just get the threads of each. And then once I'm done here, I'm actually going to show you guys what we're looking at. Because we're actually in the upper 60-70% done with this chassis, finally. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh crap! This needs a spacer right here. Where it at? Oh, here it is. All right. Oh, let's. I hope this can still go in. Yeah, I think it can. All right. We can still squeeze it in there. Okay. So the spacer, it's just because it's slightly higher than the diff housings. So there's spacers under here and spacers up in the front too. You okay?
Yes.
Good. I love you. Bye-bye. Crap, I put it on upside down. You got to make sure that you put this front chassis brace spacer the right way. Note to self. Let's see. Working backwards. Yes, sir, Mr. Gangster. We're working backwards. But that's all right. Because if I take my glasses off, working backwards, then we're working straight. It's all good. And again, what we're going to want to do, since it's going into metal, you don't want to use an electric driver or electric gun. You want to hit it with the hand driver. Just start the threads, because I still didn't do these, you know. Also, tilting the driver a little bit will actually help start the thread. Oh, that's going into plastic, so I could just screw that one in. So moving it back and forth like this actually allows it to catch the thread, but you don't want to do it too tight. All right, gotta make sure thread is caught. Okay, so all this is good. I'm not doing this crazy tight. It's still decent. And remember what I said about doing the chassis going down. We would want to go in like an X pattern. Just like that. Okay, the front two are going into plastic, so you don't need to have those crazy tight. The second two up in the front are going in lock nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, but we want to make sure that we pretty much torque it down as much as possible. What's going on, guys who just entered? What is up? Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Can't believe it's Tuesday already. I thought yesterday was like Sunday. All right. Now, I'm going to show you guys what we're looking at here. I'm going to turn this around. All right. So here, pretty much, everything what we've gotten up to. We put the rear end on, then we did the front, then we worked on the spool over here. So you guys can see we have the spool in here. There's a little bit of play. You guys can see? A very little bit of play. That's what you want, because if you have no play, you're going to generate heat and then thermal expansion once you apply all the RPM in the world. And bad stuff's going to happen. So we just got our spool in there. Spool's looking pretty happy. And a perfect amount of little bit of play. That's exactly what I want to see. I don't care what anyone says. You want to get rid of all that? No, you don't. You need a little bit of play. Now, what goes here? This BFM goes right here. So that's what we're going to put in right now. What does BFM mean? Big motor. Okay. And if you guys did not, oh no, I didn't actually go over this. So I have a Power Hobby 50mm shorty fan on there. So this is actually going to go directly into the receiver. So you don't need an extra battery to power this fan. This is going to be the most powerful fan you could put individually on just receiver voltage. So we're going with this. It's low profile, it's lightweight. I love it. And I got it to match this orange can. It's perfect. It really is. Looks awesome. And then it's held on, if you guys can see. Oh, let's get this wire out. See these clamps from Power Hobby? These Power Hobby clamps are amazing. Just space them out. I have 2 of them on there, and it works. Works perfect. Now keep in mind, if your car is going to get hot, or if the motor's going to get hot, crazy hot, nothing's really going to stop it. You know, a fan only helps cool it off. If you're running a hot setup, and you're wondering why you keep getting hot, well, a fan isn't going to be a solution. A fan only helps you cool off over time. That's not an ultimate solution. Keep that in mind. Fans do not cure. It's like a Band-Aid. So now what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to run the wire underneath. We're going to make this as super professional as possible. It's going right in between the veins of the heatsink. I'm trying to do this so you guys can see, and so I can see also. All right. Look at these little hemostats. I'm gonna get these things. I'm running this under the chassis brace in the front, so there's no way that this drive shaft can touch the wire up over here. It's just pretty hard to see with the light in my face. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna snake that wire. I'll show you guys after, but I'm snaking the wire all the way through through the bottom of the chassis brace. This is what is gonna make it look sweet. It's gonna make it look nice. It's just gonna go together well. If this wants to go in, that'd be nice. All right, there we go. I think I got it in. Maybe. Is it in? Gotta make sure it's also not pulling on the Nice, it's not. All right. Woo! All right, so we actually have the motor in here now. Look at that. And again, big motor with a metal slide going into the metal housing. You don't want to force anything. Just want to respectfully put it in. If it doesn't fit, don't force it. No, actually, if it doesn't fit, use a hammer. Don't. All right, so finally, the time has come. We're finally gonna mesh this motor up on here. You're gonna mesh it. Nope, I'm not using any paper or whatever that method is. Get to a certain point in this hobby where you just know what a good mesh is, as close as possible. You hear that? As close as possible to the spur, that you still have a little bit of play. And why am I spinning this gear all the way around and still doing that? Because here's the thing. If I have a perfect mesh at, let's say, the top of the gear, and then let's say I spin the gear around a little bit, and then that mesh goes away and it's tight, something is bent. That's what I'm testing here. So it's either the gear that's machined wrong, it's the mount that's probably pivoted, or it's the slide that's, you need to fix something. Or it could be the spool. It could be anything like that. And here's the thing, that right there, if you have something bent and you're trying to do 100, even 120, you know, and that's still fast. 120, 30, 40, 50, 80, whatever. You'll know something's wrong. And you're not going to get to, you're going to get to a certain point that you can't pass because of that. Gabriel Beach, good to catch you live. Keep on wrenching. Thanks, Gabriel. Preston, random question. Do you still run my TLR Typhon? Preston, yes, I do. I do actually run my TLR. I only run him at the dirt track. I don't make videos on it because there's just so many, you know, videos of an e-buggy at a track or a type, you know. But I ran it, I think, a couple weeks ago. You know, I don't use them in videos because everyone knows about it already. But yeah, I run him. He's still in the back over there. He's my forever track car. I'm not getting rid of him. All right. Triple checking that mesh. Seems to be a-okay on my end. Don't rely on a paper. I know that they say, oh, use a paper or a napkin or whatever. No. Learn, look, and see what a real gear mesh looks like so you know what it is, instead of relying on something that could be too thick. Like, you could use different paper and it could be too thick and then bam, your gear strip. Don't do that. You're not 8 years old. You're not 8. Know what a gear mesh is, and I'm not putting that down, but I used to do that same exact stuff too, but I kept stripping until I actually wanted to figure that out why. So here, I'm going to actually show you guys right now. How am I going to do this? Can I get a flash on? No, I can't. All right, either way. So here is the pinion. We have this massive 50-tooth gear on here. And then we have the spur gear right here as well. Now, see what I'm doing. You want a little bit of play. If you guys remember what I said about the drive shafts, right? You need a little bit of play. A little bit of play. And in the front, a little bit of play. Same thing goes with your gear. I mean, obviously, same thing with the gear mesh. But a lot of people don't know. You also have to adjust the backlash with your drive shafts as well. And that's literally the equivalence of this. Now, how to test it, as what I was saying, to spin it a little. Not all the way, but like a quarter turn. Make sure it's identical. Quarter turn. Make sure it's identical. Quarter turn. Make sure it's identical. And then, you know, until we're back, you know, you don't have to do it slow. You just do this as I'm doing. And you'll hear if there's a difference or you'll feel a difference. But for the most part, this thing is all good right here. Perfect gear mesh. And no, I'm not using the grub lock because I don't want to have to remember an Allen key just to adjust my gear mesh. I know I need a 2.5. And that's pretty much what every, you know, almost every Arrma 6S car uses, unless you go up to a 3, but I'd like to keep it at a 2.5. I don't want to have to use a 3.5 or 3. I don't know. It's a good design, it really is, but I just prefer to use the standard grub lock. Now, this motor originally had 6.5mm bullets. Now we're going to start getting into the electrical side. 6.5mm bullets is what came on this huge motor. I changed them out to 8. Because we're going with this bad guy right over here, and oh, you know, I like to stand. And these bullets are 8, so the ESC takes 8mm bullets, and what was on here before was 6.5. So I already resoldered them. You know, I'm sure you guys know how to do that. But this ESC literally just came in the same time the diff housings came in. So we're gonna have to solder them, and then I'll install the ESC. Not today, but tomorrow. I most definitely will. I'll probably do it at an earlier time. I'll start this the stream because now we pretty much have everything. I was waiting till like an hour and a half ago, and then I got everything. So I'm going to show you guys how to properly mount this ESC. I'm going to solder it first. I'm going to properly mount it, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it right and not left. What I did do in the meanwhile, though, the ESC. I already soldered the connectors, the series connectors, and this wire looks big. Yeah, that's because I soldered a 6-gauge wire to this lucky guy's ESC. He has a 6-gauge loop, and I'm making him an extra 8-gauge loop because he said he just needs more loops. So I made him like a extra heavy-duty 6-gauge, extra regular heavy-duty 8-gauge loop. So you're not going to want to run them at the same time, obviously. You just run it at once. He just needs more loops. All right, and I think this is, do I have enough room? I better. Oh my God, the servo that he has in here, it's $170 steering servo. It's disgusting in a good way. It's got more torque than the Creighton 8S servo. Super impressive. You could run on like 8 volts or whatever, you know, crazy stuff. I hope this is enough to reach here without, yeah, it should be. Got an extension. Oh, that's perfect. No zip ties needed. Just goes right to the receiver with all of its length, with a little bit left over. Exactly what you want. All right, let me see if there's any comments real quick. OG Nitro RCs, what's going on? It'll be all right now. OG's here. Awesome. What's up, OG? Also, real quick, guys, anyone who donates, I appreciate it very much. We had a couple donations this stream. You see on my board of awesomeness, we have Reggie, DatBigs RC, Stuart Dance, Sean Massey, Melvin Vega, and the RC Rat Bag. They all donated. So if you want to donate, you'll contribute to Innovation RC. Everything is appreciated. You know, I know you see 5s and 10s, but even a $1, I appreciate it all. Everything goes towards building the channel. Obviously, I'm not, balling in a Lambo, but I appreciate every single thing anyone decides to send. So yeah, hopefully I'll get a better camera setup so you guys could really see everything, and I'll be able to handle doing whatever work I need to without having to, let me stop and show, but that's what this will contribute towards. So please and thanks. And if not, it's all good. No big deal. All right, so we got that plugged in. I think we have a couple extra screws we need to hit. Yeah, we do. On this. This motor barely fits in here. It's crazy. So we have a screw that we gotta shoot in right here. I'm actually gonna use my, my handle driver now. I'm gonna use the handle driver because it's, you know, it's a short screw. It's nothing crazy. So that's in. And then this side. Oh, the nut's already in there. Great. That's great. How's it going, guys? We are doing a full build Arrma Limitless. Arrma Limitless build. It's got a big motor inside this thing. We finally were able to mount this thing up in here. Yeah, this thing's starting to look like a car now. Check that out. From nothing to something. And you guys already know where the ESC is going. This thing's going to go right here. I'm going to have to take this battery tray off because I just got to cut a little bit off. But where the ESC is going to go is literally right here. Once I cut a little part of that battery tray off, it's going to perfectly be right there. And that's originally why in the previous stream, why I cut that plastic crap off. Because one, you don't need it. Two, it elevates everything. You don't need everything like sky high. It's going to be a direct connection. Just like this. Ooh, it's going to be sweet. He's going to be happy. This is just, it's going to be a basher limitless. He wants to do probably like 110, 120 with it. So he picked the perfect motor to do it with. Motor and ESC. Okay, so we're pretty much done. We're pretty much, well, not done, but we're done for today. So tomorrow I'm probably gonna have to drill a couple holes in the chassis so we can mount the ESC. We're gonna solder. We're gonna get this thing up and going. We have to mount the servo. Servo isn't done yet. Then we're gonna put power to her. There's still a couple things to do otherwise. Oh crap! I almost forgot. Before I even forget, I'm just gonna do this. I'm putting spacers. Oops. Spacers in where the A-arms go. I completely forgot. Right over here. I knew I was forgetting something. Just put a dot of Locktite because it's metal going into metal. So we want a little bit of Locktite. Just like that. Doesn't have to be a lot because, you know, it's not going to go anywhere. Oh, it's not going to want to move out. Well, I'm going to have to undo the shock a little bit just because it wants to block the head of the bolt to back out a little bit. So that's what we have to do. Better to do it right than left. Ouch. Alright, so there's one. Now I can move this bolt down a little. Okay. What is going on, guys? We're building a 120 mile an hour limitless, well, a basher limitless. He could go a lot faster than 120. He just wants to bash around at 120, which is an oxymoron because 120 is fast. Oh, we need more spacers. Wow, okay. Could have sworn it was 3. Let's see here, maybe 4, 5. Yeah, I'll put 5 in. That's a lot. Normally it only takes like 3. Could be because of this little standoff thing. Maybe 4. Let's see if I could do it without dropping them. Ooh, that's a super tight, very tight fit. It's almost scary how tight that is. Maybe I should probably loosen this up. Yeah, I just heard it space out a little bit. There we go. Ooh, that is crazy how tight that is. But it's not hindering any performance. Tight as in like extremely low tolerance? High tolerance. Super duper crazy. Okay. We're making way for sure. Bam, so we got one in. Arm is in. I gotta do the other. It took 4 spacers. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that one's too big. I gotta get more spacers. Might be useful to use a crush washer. Okay, now I think you guys can see this, maybe. I don't know. And we're going in. Yeah, it's super duper tight. I mean, it's not crazy tight to where I'm gonna break it, but tighter than normal. You like it tight. Alright, so now if you see what I'm doing, raising and lowering it, because I want to make sure that the A-arms still have an ease of going up and down while being as tight as possible. I don't want to make it too tight because it's going to make it hard for the A-arm to go up and down, making suspension performance extremely crappy. So, see how it's still kind of loose? You want to, well, the A-arm should go up and down very loose, but you should also, again, it's just like backlash. You want to make sure it's as tight as possible with a little bit of play in it. So we have left and right. Perfect. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it the right way compared to the left. Alright, now tomorrow I'm going to have to shoot the bolts inside here. We're going to mount the ESC. Mount everything. Put power to it. Break the chassis in. And yeah, so we're pretty much done here for today. Very good job. Okay, 1, 2. Yeah, so we're, for the most part, pretty good here. We're pretty good right now. What is this? Oh, that's, I think we are about to done. Oh, wait a minute, I think I forgot. Oh, I did forget. I have to put this underneath the chassis brace. I completely forgot about that. But that's no big deal. Yeah, this has got to go like right over here. Or something like that, I don't know. Don't need that. Yeah, this has got to go underneath here. I think it does. Yeah, that little retainer clip has got to go. Completely forgot. Just like that, just so it stays in place. Yeah, I'm gonna have to undo this. Just want to do this before I forget, ultimately. Otherwise, the stream probably would have been about done right now, but I don't want to forget to do this, and I know I will. Rather do it before all the Loctite sets as well. Yeah. Yep. I forgot to put the body post thing in the front of the brace, and right before the Loctite seats, I just want to make sure it's in there, and then I'll leave it overnight, because once we're done with this, we're done. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate that. Gangster told you it's backwards. Yes, sir. It's certainly backwards. The Loctite still didn't set, so that's a good thing. I don't want to stress these screws out. I want them to look brand spanking new. Once he gets this car, he'll friggin' love this thing. It's so clean. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's completely out. I'm gonna make sure. Oh my God, that's what I didn't want to happen. It's no big deal. Screws go everywhere. Kinda. Just got to make sure when you lift something up that has a lot of screws in it, you just need to make sure you don't, you know, lose everything. Where'd that screw go? All right, so what even goes in the front? Is it this one? I'm pretty sure it is this one. God, don't tell me I don't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is this one. Is it in? Yeah, it seems to be in. All right. Seems to be in. Guess it goes like this. I've never put this one on. That's got to go in the front. Got to start with the back rear diff thing. Probably gonna have to reapply the Loctite, because it broke through the seal right there. Okay, Loctite time. Make sure we don't get it completely messy. All right, but now we're gonna bring her back down. We're gonna bring it back down, make sure it goes on evenly, front and back. Okay, that's this. This one's got to go down now. That's silly. Why would they even include like a? I got one of you. What's up, Trunk Music Ltd? Yes, sir. You caught me. You caught one of my lives. So how the hell does this go in? This makes no sense. Oh wait, does it do this? And then I do the I don't know. I don't know. This technology is foreign to me. All right, I think that's the right way to do it. No, I take that back. You missed the last two? That's all good. There's going to be many more. Many more. I like doing this stuff. All right, so I just learned. I have it up here, so it's that rubber spacer. It's going to make it hold on to that body mount. Yeah, there we go. It's going to hold on to that body mount a lot better. Oh, there we go. Now it's perfect. Oh, that's pretty smart, actually. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so yeah, we put Loctite on everything. what we want to do again is start it off with a 2.5. Start off with a 2.5. Make sure we get the threads of whatever it's going into evenly. So do the cross pattern. That's number 2, number 3, number 4. Yeah, like I said, guys, when you're doing a build like this, you don't want to screw around, really. You want to make sure everything is right. Is this really the way to do this? Oh, it has to be. There we go. So when do I use instruct? Oh, wait. That could be why, because that's a normal body clip and it's not an angled one. The R clip. Push the body post through the rubber spacer and secure with R clip. That's what I did. And it's still, I don't know, it's just not perfect, but that's all right. That's okay. I'm going to reapply Locktite to these back 2 ones, because these are the ones that are in metal. Again, got to make sure this thing is clean. Nice and clean. Make sure it catches the thread. There we go. I'm going to do this side. Catch the thread. Okay, that's in, that's in, that's in. This in. All right, now we can start shooting these things in. Later, have a great night. Take it easy, Ed. Thanks for stopping by. How's the weather holding where I'm at? Music LTD. Weather today is like disgusting. It's wet, it's cold, it's rainy. But yesterday it was hot and humid. I don't know, Florida's stupid like that. So, weather is weather. Weather is weather. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and now I'm just gonna again make sure area is nice and clean. That's 1. That's 2. PR 2025. What's going on? Gotta make sure it's all buttoned down properly. Yeah, this is weird. It's fine. That's fine. I'm pretty sure that's the right one that I need. I thought it's like an exact, I thought the hole goes the other way. Worst case scenario, I find whatever piece that is and I change it out. Yeah, it's no big deal. No biggie. Awesome, you bought a Typhon 2 to 3S. Sweet. Very nice. It's a good vehicle. All right, so here we go. We have the whole top brace in. We have the arms in. Front end is secure. Rear end is also secure. All we need tomorrow, we're going to need ESC. We're also going to have to make sure this steering servo over here, it's not even mounted in. It's just placed inside there. We need to make sure the servo is good. ESC is mounted. We're going to hook everything up to the receiver, calibrate. And then off camera, I'm just going to align it, which is the boring thing, just back and forth, back and forth. But yeah, so I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm probably going to start a little bit earlier. So probably 12-ish or, I don't know, 11, 12. Just so I could try to get this thing done hopefully tomorrow. And yeah, so we did pretty good today. We did great. Wrong pose. Yeah, gangster, I know that's the wrong pose. I don't know where it is. I have no idea. I don't know. If I find it, I'll just change it out. It's no big deal. Either way, it should still go on. I remember when we were at the shop, we were trying to find the exact post and whatnot. Yeah, it still goes on. I'm going to make sure this car is done before I keep putting the body on. I just don't want the body to get scratched. He wanted it black. Because you know what they say. Once you go black. Alright. So, I believe we're good. I think we're good. Yeah, receiver box cover. Yeah, so we actually made pretty good time, even though that we just started at 4. Did I really do it? Nice. So as of now, we actually have a full working drivetrain. Check this out. So I'm going to spin it through the motor. Look at that, front and rear drivetrain. We're up and going now. Not that it's new to me, but you know, just showing. Yeah, I'm going to clean up this place up a little bit. We're going to solder my little loop, my little looparoo tomorrow. I'm going to solder it directly to here. He wants to run 2 batteries, so you know. And I have this. Ooh, check this out. This is going in a future build. This is actually going to go inside a build that I'm not going to be touching here. It's going to be when I'm in a different location. It's when I'm going to be up in Tallahassee. I got to put this back. But yeah, so I've really decided for what I'm going to do with the channel. Instead of like doing crazy super fast speed runs, in which I know that's like a lot of what the channel likes, but this car that I've been hiding for a couple years, the principle of it, I'm going to apply it. Well, that's the single motor, as I said. There's going to be a dual motor version. And then I'm going to do a truck and just other cool. I just like building cool and clean. I don't care about going super crazy fast anymore. But I promise it's going to be worth the wait. And I'll put a teaser out probably in a couple days, actually. It involves a little bit of stupid acting. But, yeah. Oy. Alright, so tomorrow I soldered the motor wires, I soldered this thing. So we're pretty much almost done soldering. Just got to solder the ESC. We're going to put it here. We're going to do the servo. We're going to calibrate and do all that crap tomorrow. And there's still a couple things that still need to bolt down. But yeah, so we did pretty good. We did pretty good so far. Just got to clean up these wires over here. This to the ESC. It's going to be planted right over there. He's running the dual intakes. Haven't gotten to it yet. Not touching anything electrical till we get done with everything cosmetic. Yeah, this thing is starting to turn out sweet. Sweet looking motor. Sweet looking motor. Big old wires. Big gear. God, it looks like a big TP motor with that color scheme actually. But yeah, this thing is sweet. Only needs one fan. You know, doesn't need to go crazy. All right, so I'm going to conclude this. I appreciate all of you watching. We definitely jumped from a good, I would say, 30% to a good 70% done with this car regarding just building it. Yeah, so hopefully we're going to jump another 20, at least 25% tomorrow. I'm going to go live probably 11, 12-ish, probably early-ish, just because I do this and get it done. Not because I'm rushing, but I'd rather, you know, now that I have the parts, now I could go live earlier. So that's that. And I also do appreciate the few guys who did donate. So again, everything is going towards Innovation RC to doing this more. And again, I love doing this. So Stuart Dance, Reggie, that's Big RC. He donated a good 10. Sean Massey, 10. Melvin Vega, 10. The RC Rat Bag, $14.99 Aussie dollar. This is called the Board of Awesomeness. So if any of you guys contribute to Innovation RC, your name gets put up on there. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you for Thanks for watching, and more than likely tomorrow, early-ish, we're gonna try to conclude this build here, and yeah. So, alrighty, guys, looking good. Thanks, Gangster. I'm gonna try to catch the next one. Thank you, Trunk Music. Thanks, guys. All right, I'll catch you all later. Have a good one.